This show is brought to you by Squarespace and GameFly. Welcome to episode 3 of Food Mob, the interactive online cooking show where you share all your photos of all the fantastic food that we cook here. Simple ingredients, really simply cooked. Anybody could cook it. Last week we had a lot of fun cooking the perfect steak. Unbelievable response online, loads of great pictures. We're going to have a look at some of the pictures from last week first. I think people really got stuck in making some steaks and it was really good to see. First one that I want to show you is Beric Bryan submitted. Now he's done everything absolutely perfectly. You can see the meat is lovely and rare there. He's got his wedges, he's served it with a little salad, and crucially in the background he's got a nice cold Bud Light with that cold beer tip that we showed you. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Next photo I've got is from Gen Masho. Again, he's got a steak. This guy said it was the first time he'd ever cooked. His steak looks absolutely fantastic. So that's what really inspires us and gets us excited. If it's the first time that somebody's ever gone out and cooked and they're making a steak like that, we're doing something right. Looks absolutely fantastic. People on Twitter saying, never knew it could be so easy to cook steak. We've also got a few questions coming in actually on the forum, so if you want to interact, down at the bottom hit the discussion button. Loads of conversation going on there and people helping each other out about how to cook, etc. Hollow tip on the forums: I'm sort of paranoid regarding eating slightly cooked meat due to a risk of parasites. So he's worried basically that there's parasites in the meat if you cook it medium rare. Now, nothing could be further from the truth. I've been eating medium rare steak all my life. I know hundreds of people who've been eating medium rare steak with blood pouring out of it. You can actually eat it raw. Nothing's gonna happen to you. There's no parasites in there. Trust me, you'll be fine. So eat it medium rare. That's the best way to cook it. Now we're gonna jump straight into the show today. A lot of fun today we're gonna cook fajitas, or a little sort of wraps, which are nice and spicy chicken, loads of vegetables in there. Fun thing to have at a party or just to make for a couple of mates if they come over, right? So very simply, we're going to put these into a casserole dish, marinate them up with a few little sort of real good spices in there, a bit of chili, nice little kick to them. So thin strips, just regular chicken breast. Could do the exact same thing with beef or turkey or pork, but we're going to go with chicken today because pretty much everybody loves chicken. You guys cook any of the perfect steaks, Rob?
I haven't done one yet, no.
Why not?
Good question.
Really blown away by all the people last week who were saying that they cooked the perfect steak. To see people sort of coming back and saying that it tasted as good as anything they'd ever had in restaurants and being real proud of themselves and sharing the photos is just really what this show is about, and it's great to see. Again today, simple food, nothing complicated. I'm gonna season this up first with a little bit of Cajun, so generous in there. Don't know about you, but I like my Mexican type food with a real oomph to it, a nice little kick. Aaron has got a stinking hangover today. He's miserable as hell. I think he's looking forward to some nice greasy food. Is that right, Aaron?
Yeah, that's great.
Where were you?
I was in Edinburgh for 2 days.
Edinburgh, partying it up. Lively as usual is Aaron. Now, in there next goes a little bit of oil. That's just going to sort of help bring the spices alive and sort of get them dancing and coming alive. A couple of vegetables we're going to add in. Raw chicken on the board. Don't worry if there's raw chicken there, because we're going to put this in and cook it all together. So as soon as you're finished chopping for the chicken, we'll get rid of that raw chicken on the chopping board. Very important to be hygienic. So red peppers. Any other good discussion you saw around the show, Rob?
Just general chatter around how much they love the steak.
Yeah, I think that's a real, can't go wrong with the steak, can you?
And beer as well.
Yeah, steak, beer. Last week was really a home run. And again this week, in terms of a recipe, it's just something that you can really just rustle up really quickly after work. Party food, I like to call it. Nice and relaxed. So in go your peppers. I'm gonna actually turn the pan on. So we're doing it in a big wok, so just bring that up to temperature. Don't need it just yet, but get it ready. So in there, let's go. That's probably enough. Bit of red onion. You like Mexican food, guys?
No.
I don't think anybody doesn't like Mexican food. It's got sort of party, and like if I think of Mexican food, I think Coronas, tequila, party.
What about the alcohol?
The what?
Mexican alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. It's just party time when it's Mexican food involved. Right, so red onions in there, oil in there, Cajun spices in there, paprika in there, all starting to come together in with your hands, nice and clean. Nothing better for mixing it all up together. Very important that you start sharing your photos. We got some great examples of steaks being sent in this week. Don't forget you can find us on facebook.com/foodmob, Rob?
That's it.
Yeah. So facebook.com/foodmob. We're on Twitter. We're always answering your questions. People are asking us how to cook steak, all that. Check us out on twitter.com/foodmobtv. Say hello. And Flickr. I don't know the URL for Flickr, but you'll find it down below the show if you're watching it on revision 3. So that chicken is marinated. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes there to sort of come together and come to life. And as that comes together and marinades, I'm going to tell you about our first sponsor, which this week is GameFly. So GameFly is the largest online video game rental service and offers you a choice of over 6,000 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. So the idea with GameFly is post out the games, play your games, keep them as long as you want, no rental charges, no late fees. There are rental charges, there's no late fees. Send them back whenever you want. Great way instead of going out and buying games and all that. So if you want games this weekend, go and do that. There's a discount code which Rob is going to tell me is go to gamefly.com/foodmob. Loads of different discounts in there. Great way of getting cheap games and supporting the show crucially. Right, pan is heating up for our fajitas. Nice temperature coming up in there. We're going to season it with a little bit, what are you laughing at? We're going to season it with a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt. People giving out last week about how much salt was on the steak. The salt is what makes it taste really, really good, and what I know it's not healthy. I know you're not going to be doing it every day and it's bad for your blood and your cholesterol and blah, blah, blah. But if you're worried about stuff that was bad for you every second of the day, we'd all be dead, right? So just get the salt on the steak. It tastes amazing. Same with this seasoning, really, really important. So get that flavor in there. Now, coming up to the temperature, we're going to cook these really, really fast. And then it's just a case of sort of assembling them. What are you going to cook this weekend for the missus?
Might have to do some of these fajitas.
Seriously?
Yeah, might have to.
Actually going to do them? The problem is you two just stuff your fat faces on when we're cooking, and then you go home and can't be bothered cooking. Right, so temperature, listen for that sizzle. Perfect. In that goes. Not really too much to do there, just keep it moving every couple of minutes. The oil's coating it evenly, so there's no need to, it's not going to stick or anything like that. I'm going to make a 1-minute salsa. Flip the chopping board over. Maybe not 1 minute. If you're not as quick as me with the knife, it might take you a little bit longer, but basically take out that core in the center. That's watery, insipid, not very nice at all. Your repertoire is going to be so much better after watching a few weeks of this show. You already know how to make pancakes. You can make perfect steaks. Fajitas is a little sort of party snack type food. Salsa, incredibly easy. Tomatoes, we've taken the seeds out from the center and we're just going to get a nice little fine dice. The key is getting really good fresh tomatoes. It's all about the ingredients. If you're working with nice fresh ingredients, you really are laughing. Make sure to keep all feedback coming. We're obviously looking for all your photos and even videos. Still waiting for people to do really good little videos of the steaks and stuff like that. So, tomatoes. Running the knife over them. All we're trying to do here is release the natural juices in there. Give it a little swirl. You can see those fajitas, or the chicken for the fajita. Chili in the throat. You can see those starting to cook. That means that you've got enough chili in there. That's really starting to work. Right, salsa, nice and fine. Get the juices flowing. So many people go to the shop and buy the stuff out of the jars or the packets, or I don't know, I think they've put like radioactive nuclear preservatives in those sort of salsas. Absolutely nothing to do with salsa. This is salsa. Takes a minute to make, full of flavor, absolutely delicious. So, fine dice, like that. You could do it in the food processor, but I don't know, it's more washing up. Nobody likes washing up. Tomatoes in there, lime, lovely zingy zesty flavour. In that goes. Really, really nice. Lime on the floor, that doesn't matter. Nice dice of fresh chilli. So, as much chilli as you want. I like a lot, really like that nice pungent little kick. Flip the fajitas. Keep saying fajitas. Flip the chicken. Coriander. Key in any sort of Mexican food. Big bunch of it. See all those little stalks? People pick those out. There's huge flavour in those stalks. Get them in there. So, nice dice. And in that goes. I'm just going to add in a little bit of oil. A little bit of my mate's salt and pepper. In that goes. Looking forward to this, Rob? Yes, it does. Look at that salsa. 1 minute. Take you guys 3 minutes. Absolutely delicious. Make a big, fucking huge, big load of it. Put it in the fridge and keep it. Just dip your chips or whatever it is you want to dip in there. Keep them going. Chicken, pretty much cooked. Nearly time to assemble. This is the fun bit. If you're making this, let's say you're making them with your kids or with a family at home, loads of fun assembling these. The best part. I'm going to show you how I'm going to heat up these guys here. So wraps, you get them in plastic packets in the supermarkets. Like this at the moment, if I was to eat that, tastes kind of stale, kind of like cardboard, really not very nice. All you have to do, I'll serve that one up to Aaron. All I got to do is slightly warm pan, not very warm at all. Just bring it up to temperature, no oil, nothing in there. Just going to pop it in there for a couple of minutes. Nearly ready to serve. So, nice big plate. Huge big scoop of salsa on the side of your plate. Generous with that. Doesn't that look awesome, that salsa, no? Now, try not to burn my wrap. That's getting nice and soft. Key ingredient, sour cream. Straight from the supermarket. If you want to give it a little extra zing, a little squeeze of lime juice. I like it really sour. I think a little squeeze of lime juice really helps you achieve that. Now, out comes the wrap. See what I mean? Little production line at the moment. Lots happening. Keep you busy. Now, little bite mark out there. On that goes the salsa. Sour cream. It's going to act as the glue, so that's going to keep the whole thing sort of stuck together real nice. Now, a couple of little bits of chicken. I know the chicken's cooked because I've cooked chicken probably 1,000 times. I can just tell by looking at it. If you're not sure, just cut into the center of it. No harm in that. If it's white and cooked all the way through, you're laughing. So, in that goes. Just spread it out evenly. A couple of little whole coriander leaves. A little bit of grated cheddar over the top. Making them real sort of small little bite-sized ones. Nothing worse, I think, than a big massive one that you're trying to get into your mouth and it's falling all over the place. Keep it nice and tight. Anyway. You don't even have to cut it like this, but it's just to show you guys the center of it. Look at that. Gorgeous, huh? Fucking gorgeous. Right, flip this second one. I'll just do two to show you. Slightly overcooked that one. Not to worry, on goes the chicken. Nice generous amount of peppers. So much fun making these, so quick to make. Just whack about 10, 20 of them into the oven and keep them warm. Get your beers, invite your friends over. You're laughing. Salsa on the side. Absolute delight. So roll it up again nice and tight. Straight down the middle. Pop him up there on top as well. You cannot tell me that you cannot do that at home. It's taken us literally, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 minutes from scratch. Really delicious. Little spicy chicken wraps. Now as the guys tuck into those, I'm actually going to try one of these myself. They look so good. Wow. Marks out of 10?
4.
4. Now before we show you our next great tip, which is really tasty, we're going to jump to our next sponsor, which is Squarespace. So Squarespace is a publishing system for anyone looking to build a blog, portfolio, or any type of website. So basically on Squarespace, you go on, set up websites, really, really simple. One of the first websites I ever set up was on there. I actually saw them on Dignation the other day. Did you guys see that show where they were throwing the iPads out the window?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
In New York. Gotta come over here and throw some iPads into my window. Basically, everything you need to know is on there. If you use the promotion code FoodMob, you're gonna get some discounts on there. It's a great way, totally simple for beginners. Anybody, even YouTube idiots, could go along and build a website. Very, yeah. So Squarespace, check it out. Definitely worth if you wanna set up a food website or anything like that. Last tip of the day, it's real quick, but believe me, it's very useful one. One of these guys, little, I don't know what you'd call those, a jar. Thanks, Rob. A jar. This is for people who like sugar in their tea, sugar in their coffee, if you make desserts, if you have sugar in your, maybe stuff like, what's the thing called? Lemonade. Great way of flavoring up sugar. So we're gonna pop our sugar in there. First off, we're gonna add a little bit of lemon zest. So just around the outside, I'm gonna carve off a few bits of lemon. Probably think this isn't relevant to you, that you're not into bacon or you're never going to have it in your tea or your coffee, but believe me, if you've got any sugar at home, please do this trick, because if guests come over, if you want a little something different, this is going to blow their mind. So lemon goes in there. What are you laughing at? Was that you? Aaron is so miserable. He's trying to tell me now that it's concussion instead of a hangover. Right, vanilla pods, right? These guys, oh, so good, right? These cost about $2-3 each. They're really, absolutely delicious. You know the vanilla essence that you get in jars? Horrible, right? That's just sort of processed muck. If I cut straight down the center of this, what you'll see is thousands and thousands and thousands of tiny little, can you see that? You want to see it there? Tiny little specks of vanilla. These things come from Madagascar, which is just off the African coast, and they are absolutely amazing. If you've ever had fresh vanilla, you know what I'm talking about. You pop it in there. We're making vanilla and lemon sugar. It looks like a little boring thing to do, trust me. What we're gonna do is we're gonna seal that up, pop all that vanilla in there, seal it up, pop it up onto like a shelf or anywhere in your kitchen, and basically leave it for about 2 to 3 weeks. And then once you start using it, what you're gonna have is the most perfumed, sort of fragrant, delicious sugar that you could ever imagine. You probably, like I said, you're gonna wonder, is it really worth doing? Leave this for 2 or 3 weeks, taste it, and you'll never look back. It is absolutely stunning. That vanilla is the most fragrant, delicious thing. They put it in a lot of perfumes and stuff like that, and they give like little aromas of it. It really is delicious. Up on the shelf it goes. We'll hold on to it and actually smell it in a couple of weeks live on the show. So don't forget, guys, any photos that you have of today's little wraps, any of the steaks that you cooked last week, upload them to Flickr, Facebook. Tell us what you're doing down in the discussions. Tell us about the disasters that you've had on the show, trying to make the recipes from the show over the last couple of weeks. We want to see real disasters, real successes, your own little twists on everything. It's the interactive food show, Food Mob. We've had a lot of fun this week. Talk to you next week.